Hi, everyone. It's Bill Fairman and Wendy Sweet here. Welcome to another episode of the Passive Wealth Show. I am broadcasting live from the Charlotte Douglas International Airport in one of the lounges. Um, Sorry you're staring up my nose, but
I think his internet is a little frozen. So
okay, can you hear
we're
me
going to talk
now?
about, we're going to talk about retirement. And can you lend when you're retired? We'll be right back after this.
Yay, we're back.
You're
Am I
not
still
frozen.
talking?
That's funny. We both went like that. It's like we're brother and sister.
Well, yeah, almost seems like we're related. Again, welcome to the Passive Wealth Show. I'm your host, Bill Fairman. This is the hostess with the mostest, Wendy Sweet, business partner and sister. We are Carolina Capital Management. We are lenders in the Southeast. If you are considering borrowing money and you're a real estate investor, go to our website, carolinahardmoney.com, and click on the Apply Now tab. If you're a passive investor looking for passive returns, click on the Accredited Investor tab. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And we do have a comment section on either the right side or underneath the screen, depending on the platform you're viewing us from. Again, I apologize for you guys having to look up my face instead of the normal way we are, because I'm getting ready to go to Freedom Founders in Dallas, and we're going to have to do our two shows here from the airport. Of course, Wendy always looks great with her natural looking light in her
See,
new
it's
office
so much better. I don't
with
have
the
red
wraparound
skin,
lights.
don't have green hair. It's so much better not in our video room. We've got to get that camera fixed. If we can make it take a whole bunch of weight off of me too, it's really good.
Yeah,
Can you do that?
unfortunately, most cameras add weight to you.
I know. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm really just this skinny.
I remember you were telling me about that professional photographer that was taking headshots of you, and you mentioned to him, "I just hate the way I look on camera," and he just says, "Camera doesn't lie."
No, he said the camera takes what it sees.
Oh, yeah. Either
And
way, it wasn't very polite.
I thought, you SOB. Yeah, I wasn't real happy about that. But anyway, do you have any breaking news? Oh, look, he's frozen again. Either he's frozen or he's really showing off his drink. Okay, now you're
It might be in and out and in and out, so you'll have to. That'll give you a chance to talk this time.
that's right. That's exactly right. Finally. So, do
Yeah,
you have
let's do a little breaking news.
all right.
Okay, am I frozen?
You are not frozen. You're for real. You may
Good,
talk.
because I couldn't hear any of the logo neat music thingy
Oh,
graphics on this end.
well, it was really
Um,
good. You missed it.
yeah, well, I saw it, I just couldn't hear it, and that's the important part, right? Hearing it.
That's right.
So, the jobs numbers came out again this morning, and they were expecting 680,000 first-time claims, and guess what? It was like 710. So it's moving the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. It fluctuates back and forth. They probably adjusted the numbers from last week too. Um,
I
I'm
was
not worried about
listening
it.
to I was listening to WBT radio earlier this morning, and they were talking about how unemployment is up, and um, the it was Vince Coakley that was talking actually, and he said, it's really kind of sad because you see everywhere where people are hiring, it's everywhere. There's signs, and I had to drive up toward the mountains the other day for a short term rental we're putting into place up there, and I mean, every single large facility had "we're hiring, now hiring" out front. There's a billboard on 77 with Stanley Dicker, the Stanley and Black and Decker. They're
Right.
hiring on a billboard. I mean, it's everywhere. I don't understand. It's like people are wanting to. They'd just rather be lazy because they're getting all this money in the mail, right?
Well, the free money that's not free is plentiful right now.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
that
for sure.
said, um, interest rates are going up. They have continued to go up over the past few weeks. They're
And
now,
especially for non-owner occupied properties.
we'll get to that in a second. Uh,
Awesome.
but they're still over 3%, which we talk about is not
Ooh.
a big deal, relatively speaking. And mortgage applications for uh, the first half of April are up 51% from the same time last year. But the refinance applications are just a trickle because rates are going up. People aren't refinancing as much, not to
Everybody's already
not to
refinanced.
save money, but I think you're going to see people still at these low rates. They'll eventually start refinancing to cash out some of the equity in their properties because the prices just keep going up.
Yeah.
So you have all these loan applications, but we don't have a whole lot of inventory.
Yeah.
So if I was in the mortgage industry, I'd be a little upset. I got all these people that want to do loans with me, but I can't find them houses to spend it on. So uh, that's another thing. What was it? 18 days supply,
Yeah.
Charlotte,
It's
North Carolina.
crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
18 days. And for those who don't know, a 6-month supply is equilibrium in the real estate business.
Yeah.
So 18 days is nothing.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah. I
wonder all
mean,
prices keep going up?
I'm seeing investors just buy properties and uh, basically sweep them out, put them right back on the market, and sell them to other investors. It's just crazy, and they're getting multiple offers for that.
Well,
It's insane.
yeah. Now the difference here in 2008 was there wasn't a supply issue in 2008. This was just speculation that values would continue to go up, and the reason uh, it was getting cheaper and cheaper and easier to buy a home, it was because the way the mortgage loans were working.
Right,
If all you had to do was fog a mirror, then sure, I'll have a couple of houses.
right, right.
Now let's talk about investment properties and second homes. Uh, you know, we already talked about this, I think, last week. Uh,
Hmm.
Brian mentioned this to us on one of the shows about the lenders can't have more than 10% of their total books in second homes and investment properties. So they're cutting
Right,
way back on doing investment loans to individuals and second homes. Some people think that that is a sign that the economy is going to be struggling because that's the first thing that goes south um, when the economy starts to bottom out or starts to take a dive is that people stop buying second homes or they try to sell their second homes. Now, the Miami market, this is surprising uh, details that you have all these people that are moving out of New York City, and you would expect a lot of them to be moving to South Florida. It turns out that they have something like 19 months worth of supply in Miami.
do they?
As hot of a market it is in Florida, Miami area has a 19-month supply of homes
Hmm.
available for purchase.
Very
Now,
interesting.
they also, in the Miami area, they'll knock down the local 7-Eleven and build condos.
Yeah.
uh, they're they're big in
I'm sure that what he was getting ready to say about Miami is pretty exciting. Um, but I'm not, I wasn't privy to the information up front, so I couldn't tell you. Okay. So you look like you're back.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe I should switch to 5G and see if that works.
So, so why do you think that is that Miami is different than really the rest of Florida?
Miami has always been a very speculative real estate market. Um, you have,
Laundering money and
well, it's the highest loan fraud state in the country.
yeah.
And you have people that live in other countries that are trying to move their assets into the U.S. And the best way to do that is to do it in real estate. And then no one ever occupies them. You see these fully purchased, occupied, supposedly uh, condo buildings there at night, and only 2 or 3 lights are on the whole building because they bought these properties, but nobody lives in them. So anytime there's market fluctuations, it's always enhanced in the Miami market. So, you want to get to our question, or did you have any more insight on how the market's doing?
I mean, I'm just constantly amazed at really what's going on. Really what's going on in the market. It still just blows my mind that the multiple offers that people are getting, and it's everywhere. I'm not seeing any kind of a slowdown. And I know we've talked to several real estate agents that are, still seeing the same thing everywhere. So the only thing I have to say is just be careful, folks. It is really, really important that you stick with your numbers, stick with your formulas, stick with your caution, because what goes up must come down, and this can't continue. Just be very, very careful.
Well, it will slow down at some point, but when there's a demand, but prices are going to go up.
Right.
Just make sure you're not, um, stepping out there, because I can tell you, as soon as you take a risk that you can't correct from, that's when the problem is going to happen. Oh, I can do it as long as the market is doing this. This is going to work out great. Well,
Right.
that's that's when the market is going to turn.
That's right. That's
I've seen it
exactly right.
happen so many times,
Mm-hmm. We sure
and I know
have.
you have as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
So let's let's go ahead and get to the ugly question. Yay!
Do you
It's
remember
so
what the ugly
weird.
question is today?
Yes. Can a retired person qualify for hard money loans? Well, my first quick answer for every question that we ever do, it all depends.
Yeah, that's right. And first of all, if you're a retired person and you're trying to qualify for hard money loans, I'm here to tell you that you have flunked retirement. You're supposed to not do anything.
Right.
Isn't that the point?
Actually, retirement means I'm just starting my new thing.
Yeah.
Because you
Or
can
in
retire
between,
for a little while, but then you have to do something.
yeah, in between jobs.
Yeah.
That's kind of
That's
the way.
usually how it works.
Yeah.
Well, again, it doesn't matter. Private loans are private loans for a reason. They don't follow the same uh, guidelines that a conventional loan is going to have to follow. We're not mandated that you have to make a certain amount of money. Number
Right.
one, we're doing commercial loans. We're not doing consumer loans. And those
Right.
rules
Commercial,
and
not consumer.
regulations are put in place for consumers. Now, a bank still has to, uh, they do commercial loans a different way. They're going to do it based on the property and the income that the property produces. It's going to be difficult for them to do a short-term construction loan uh, in that arena for someone who doesn't show any income or hadn't had a business for a while.
That's right.
That's why, the private money comes in here.
That's
So,
right.
um, no, that's not my alarm going off in the background.
Well, we can't hear that, but I will say this, that, what most hard money lenders really want is for their loan to be paid back. And so we base everything off of that. What is the potential for this loan being paid back? We want it to be 100%. If you're retired, you normally don't have any income, but a lot of retired people have plenty of money into the bank that they could use their money to buy the house if they wanted to, but they're smart enough to get a loan rather than to use all of their cash. So there's a reason why retired folks would want to get into this business to continue to supplement the income that they have and grow the wealth that they have birthed. They want to continue that. So as long as you've got a good credit score and some experience or an experienced team, we're happy to lend money to someone who is retired.
So here's the thing too. When you've retired from your regular job, now you have time to play the game you always wanted
Mm-hmm.
to be involved in. Before it was nice to think about, but you frankly just didn't have the time to devote to it. Now you
That's
do.
right.
Now you've got some money on the side built up that you can live off of while all this is going on. You're in a much better position that people are just starting out in this and they're trying to make a living at it. So actually, if you're retired and you have income coming in, you're actually a better risk than someone who is just jumping into this as a career.
That's right. Because they have
Right?
so many other bills to take care of. You're right. I loved your photo bomber in the background.
Yeah, that's okay. They're like, wow, is he talking to someone there or off in the Ethernet?
So
Actually,
we've
what they're
got
doing is, I was going to say, what they're doing is they're looking and going, how do I look? How do I look?
we've got a really good interview coming up next after this. It's Haley Gant with Quest. She's going to be talking about QuestCon, which is coming up next weekend. QuestCon coming up next
Yeah,
weekend. And,
and
I have, go ahead.
I was going to say, we want to make sure that you understand that we have a link here in the show for the upcoming QuestCon next week. And if you use that link, then you get, I think it used to be 50% off, but we're getting closer. So it might only be 30% off.
Yeah. But it's well worth it. I tell people all the time, there's two things. If you want to invest in real estate, period, you need to know two things. Number one, you need to understand how notes work. Number two, you need to understand how self-directed IRAs work. Any kind of self-directed money, whether it's an IRA or ESA or HSA, 401k, solo, whatever, SEP account, whatever it is, if it's self-directed, that it can change your world. If you understand how they work, then it's so much easier for you to raise money from other people, because so many people have self-directed money and they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So if you can help them understand what they can and cannot do, it just makes it a better, easier way for you to be able to raise private capital.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things. The QuestCon is devoted to the lending space. This
Mm-hmm.
QuestCon is all going to be about lending. So it's going to be about notes. It's going to be about finding capital. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be about investing in the note business,
Underwriting.
investing in funds that
Mm-hmm.
invest in the notes space. It's going to be about people that originate loans and how to invest in that space. But especially if you have deals and you're looking for private capital, this is a place to go to as well, because you're going to be able
Yeah,
to meet the folks that have money to invest. They're just trying to
that's
learn how to
right.
do it, right?
Like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yep.
Hey, here's a question from Fennell Hayes. Do y'all consider container homes as a new build? There are a lot of people that are asking about container homes, developments, or just one home at a time. Um, the thing about, first of all, yes, it is a new build, but here's the problem with container homes. It's really difficult to find comps for that. So when you put a container home together and you try to sell it to somebody, that person really needs to be able to pay cash, because the ability for them to get a bank loan on a container home is going to be difficult, because that bank's going to want to see comparables that are also container homes. And unless it's in a container home development, you're going to have a very difficult time getting that done. So I can tell you that container homes are probably not something we would consider at this time. What do you feel?
However, well, I like them because I think it's a nice, low cost, efficient way to build now. And we're
It
always looking for ways to lower the cost of building something. I think there's a place for them, but Wendy's right. The end buyer, your buyer, because eventually, if you can't sell it to somebody that's not paying cash for it, what are you going to do with it? You're going to turn it into a rental then? Because that's the only option.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
you'd have to get out of our loan.
There just isn't enough of a history with container builds right now.
The adage in the mortgage business is you never buy a piece of property that's not typical, because
Right.
it limits who can buy it. It limits who can lend on it. It's just out of the box, and
Yeah.
banks don't like out of the box stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's really not for your benefit, it's for your buyer's benefit. So
Right.
you can build it, you'll find somebody who will lend you money on it, but it's going to be hard for your buyer to find a lender. And
Right.
that's what you need to be concerned about.
Personally, I think they're cool as hell.
I do too.
I've seen
I'd love
some
to have
really
a bunch
neat
of
ones.
Airbnbs. Yeah. Way cool. All right.
I'm going to try to contain my enthusiasm for that. And
You're
move
doing
along.
a really good job, because you're freezing up all the time.
It's hard to be excited when I'm stuck in this little hole.
So
I don't
don't forget too that I do the Wednesday with Wendy. There's the link for it right there, and you can spend 30 minutes with me on any given Wednesday that I have time available, and we can go into detail about what we just talked about: container homes, why you should like them, why you shouldn't, Airbnbs, anything to do with anything about real estate. We can talk about that, and I can hook you up with people that are way smarter than me that can help you grow and become successful.
All right, so you guys go to the next link and watch the next show. We'll put that link up. Well, it's actually over there in the chat side, so you can just click it on and go right to the next show. We're getting ready to talk with Haley. She's a great young lady. We met her years ago on a investor cruise ship before she started working there.
Yeah, she was just a little baby girl.
She was just green right out of college. Anyway, thank you so much for joining the show, the Passive Wealth Show. We are Carolina Capital Management. We are lenders in the Southeast for investors. If you're looking for a loan, carolinahardmoney.com. Go to the Apply Now tab. If you're an investor looking for passive returns, then click on the Accredited Investor tab. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. Great seeing you. See you shortly. Bye.